Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Simply Kim, and as you can tell by the title of the video, this is going to be a story time video. This is my very first story time video, and yeah, so I'm gonna get right into it. So this story is going to be about the time when I was the side chick and I didn't know. I had no idea. I had no inclination. I had no idea, no clues. No, I mean, this has really just caught me off guard. Okay, so this story takes place back when I was in my mid 20s. I think I was probably about 24. No, I wasn't even that old. I was 22. I was 22. Yeah, I was 22 years old. As you guys know, if you watch some of my past videos, I grew up living with my grandmother and grandfather. But when I got a little bit older, my mom asked me to come stay with her for a couple of months. I was only supposed to be staying with her for a couple of months, and I ended up staying with her for a year. But this situation happened when I was living with my mom. So I moved into my mom's house around February or March of that year. I was getting ready to turn either 22 or 23. It was somewhere around that age. My birthday is in March, so it was between February and March because I celebrated my birthday at my mom's house. So anyway, I stayed at my mom's house. I was only supposed to be there for a couple of months. In May, we found out that my sister was pregnant. My little sister was pregnant, and that she was due in November. And so I told my mom, I said, well, I don't want to go back right now because this was my first niece or nephew, and I wanted to be there for my sister. I didn't want to. My sister was living with my mom. She has always lived with my mom, and I just didn't want to leave. So I ended up staying there until my sister had the baby. So anyway, my mom lived in a two family house. It was an up and down. My mom stayed up, and my stepsister, my mom's husband's daughter, stayed downstairs. So I used to go down to her house all the time, but this one particular day, she asked me to come stay down at her house because she was waiting on the UPS man to drop some stuff off. She wasn't going to be home, so she asked me to stay down at her house. I said, okay, cool. I stayed down at her house. So I was outside sitting on the porch, on the downstairs porch, and this guy walked up the street. And I didn't say anything to him. He didn't say anything to me. He walked past. I was just sitting on the porch. I actually was reading a book, and I was sitting there, and he walked past, and that was that. That was the end of that. So coincidentally, about a week later, I was downstairs in the driveway getting something out of the trunk of my mom's car, and the guy walked past again. And this particular time, he's like, how you doing? I said, how you doing? And that was the end of that. We didn't have any type of conversation. So the third time I ran into him, I was coming back from the store. It was a store right around the corner from where my mom lived at. And I was coming back from the store. And this time he was driving, and he drove past me and stopped and asked me, did I want to ride? And I told him no, because my mom lived right there. You know, it was within walking distance, and that I was, I'm cool. I could walk. Okay, so the next time I saw him, I was sitting on the downstairs porch. I was waiting on my cousin to come pick me up, so I was sitting downstairs, and he rolled by in his car, and he stopped, and he backed up, and he came back, and he got out the car, and he walked up to the porch and asked me what my name was. I told him my name, and we just had a brief conversation. I honestly can't remember the depth of the conversation or exactly how the conversation took place, but he did ask me, did I live at this house? Because he said, I always see you at this house. Is this where you live at? And I said, well, for right now, yes, this is, I went into I didn't go into detail, but I just said, this is my mom's house. I'm staying here temporarily. I stay on the other side of town, and that was the end of that. So he asked me for my phone number. I gave him my phone number. He gave me his. So I said, I'm not going to call him because I wanted to see if he was going to call me. So he ended up calling me the next day. He asked me, could he take me out to eat? I told him I couldn't go out to eat that day because I had to go to work. Fast forward, we ended up going out on a couple of dates. This man even took me to his house. He picked me up one day and took me to I don't know if you guys have this restaurant where you live at, but we used to have it here in Ohio. We don't have it any longer, but it was called Ponderosa. So for those of you who are familiar with Ponderosa, y'all know how long ago this story was when Ponderosa was in existence. But anyway, so he took me to Ponderosa. After we went out to eat, he says, let's go back to my place. I said, okay, cool. We go back to his place. When I tell you, there was nothing indicating to me that this man had a wife, had a child. This man even had a child. I didn't even know. There was, there was literally either I was just not paying attention to my surroundings, which typically, I don't care where I'm at, I don't care how many times I've been there, I always pay attention to my surroundings. But this particular time, there was just no inclination or nothing indicated to me that this man had a child. However, when we went in his bedroom, on the dresser, there was a picture of him and a lady, a girl or a young woman or whatever. And I questioned him about who she was, and he said that was his ex-girlfriend, and somebody that he had dated a couple of years ago. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just left it like that because I didn't see anything in there that told me that a woman lived there. Nothing. So, fast forward, I started dating this guy for about, let's see, my niece was born in November. So I think, yeah, okay. So I dated him up until the end of September, because what happened was the end of September, we gave my sister a baby shower for the baby. And I was at home. We were all at the baby shower, and somebody, like I said, my mom stayed upstairs, but when you looked in the hallway, you had to go down a flight of stairs, and then it was the door, the entrance into, and come up the stairs, and then that's how you entered my mom's house. So I heard somebody coming up the stairs. I opened the door, and it was one of my friends, and she said, some lady downstairs asking for you. So I get downstairs, I get outside, and when I tell y'all, it was a car full of girls. It was probably about 5 girls. And so I come outside on the porch. I don't recognize the car. I don't recognize any of the females. So I'm thinking, like, who the hell are these people? I don't know them. So I come outside. I stand on the porch. I'm not going to walk to the car because I don't know these people. So I'm standing on the porch. The girl comes up to the step, and she says, is your name Kim? I said, yes. She says, well, my name is, I'm just going to say Linda. She said, my name is Linda, and I'm T's girlfriend. And I say, T who? And she said, T that stays on. And then she said the name of the street of the house of where he had taken me to. And I said, oh, okay. I mean, what was I supposed to say? I said, okay. So she said, and I understand that you've been seeing him. And I said, well, we've talked. So she says, well, I want to know what is the significance of your relationship to him? Are you his woman? Are you his girlfriend? Are y'all really kicking it? Are y'all just sleeping together? What is it? What is your relationship to him? So I told her, you need to ask him that. Which I felt like that's who she needed to be questioning. Why are you questioning me when I didn't even know about you? So I told her, I said, ma'am, I don't know anything about you. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you. I said, but I feel like if you have any questions about me and your man, you need to question your man. Don't come questioning me. So she, was like, okay, she said a few words, and I said a few words, and like I said, it was a whole bunch of females down there, so I wasn't gonna get all rah-rah because I was by myself, and I ain't no fool. So they get in the car and they leave. So the next time I see him, which was the next day, I saw him. He comes over to my house, and I asked him about her. And he says, oh, yeah, that's my son's mother. But he never classified her as his girlfriend, as his woman, anything like that. He said, that's my son's mother. I said, okay. I said, well, she came over to my house. I said, I don't even know how she found out where I live at. He said, well, she followed me over here one day, and that's how she know where you live at. I said, okay. I said, well, I don't need drama like that. This is not my house, and I don't need this type of drama at my mom's house. So he went on to tell me that that's not his girlfriend. They are not in a relationship like that. That's just his son's mother. He does for his son, and that's it. And I believed him because I was young. I was young. I was naive. I liked him. It was a new relationship, and I believed him like the typical female. So he leaves, and we continue to see each other. But about a week later, I hear somebody ring my mother's doorbell. It's early in the morning. Somebody rings my mother's doorbell, and I go downstairs, and it's her standing there with their little boy, and she's just crying and crying. And I come outside, and I'm like, "What's?" Yeah, she like, "I just wanted to come over here and talk to you for a minute." Woman to woman, I don't want any problems. I'm not trying to cause any problems, but we're in a relationship. We live together. This is my man, and you breaking up a happy home. I told her, I said, honey, I don't know what kind of home you had. I said, but I was in it, and I had no inclination that there were no pictures or anything of you in there. And she told me that the reason why there was really nothing there of hers in the house is because they had just moved there, and her things were still at the old house, and that's why I didn't see any toys. That's why I didn't see. But it didn't even look like it was a new place. It looked like somebody just lived there. It didn't look like somebody was just living there that had just moved there. It looked like a live-in house. So I don't know how he pulled that off, but he did pull that off. And the next time I saw him, I kindly broke it up with him because I told him, I just don't need that kind of problem. I don't need this female coming to my mom's house. I just don't need this. So yeah, but she came to my house with her girls, and then I guess she thought about it, because I explained to her, I said, ma'am, I don't even know you. I don't know nothing about you. I didn't even know you existed. So I guess she thought about it, or maybe somebody, talked to her and told her, maybe you need to go have a one-on-one, because she did come at me the second time like a woman. But I was just totally shocked and totally surprised, because I was really feeling him. I really liked him. And because I mean, you really like played it to the T. Like, he didn't even tell me anything about a child when I met him until I told him that she came to my house. And then he said, that's my son's mother. And I'm like, son? I didn't even know he had a child. So this man deceived me. But that's my story time, when I was the other woman and I didn't even know. I don't condone being the other woman. That's not in my character. That's not in my nature. I don't believe in that, because I wouldn't want anybody doing that to me. Sometimes these men can really have you thinking that you are the only one, and they got a whole nother family somewhere else. So if you enjoyed this story time and would like to hear another story time video, please leave it down below. If you like this video, please thumbs up and comment below, like and share. I thank you guys for watching this video. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, and don't let anyone steal your joy. Bye. So now y'all know we gotta start doing background checks on these men, because they be having whole other lives that we have no indication about. I cannot believe that happened to me. I cannot believe that happened to me. I'm still tripping on that. But that was, like I said, years ago. I was young. Nobody can pull that off on me now. Nowadays, I do background checks. I want to see. They give me their name. I'm serious. I do lookups. I look and see what kind of criminal past you had. I look and see if I could find out your credit score if I wanted to, but I don't go through all that. I just want to know where you live at, if you're married, do you got another woman, what kind of criminal background you got. I do a background check, because I don't have time. Ain't nobody got time for that.